Hi everyone, so today's Warlock build video was actually an idea given to me by a viewer of mine and combines the exotic weapon Skyburner's Oath along with the Warlock exotic headpiece Dawn Chorus. So what this build allows you to do is scorch all targets in the game with your solar abilities, and combined with the Skyburner's Oath exotic weapon gives you guaranteed ignitions causing explosions galore. One thing to keep in mind however is that the build uses the Dawnblade Super rather than the Well of Radiance, because in my opinion it keeps it more of a fun build rather than a true endgame build. So if you have an extra slot in your loadouts and are looking for something fun to enjoy in casual content, this one's for you. So there are actually two different versions of this build. They slightly vary in a little different way. The first one is going to use the ability Healing Rift along with Icarus Dash and Touch of Flame, while the other build uses Phoenix Dive along with Heat Rises and Touch of Flame. Now these builds differ not too much. I would argue that the first build with the Healing Rift is better just because it's a bit more consistent, but I just wanted to point out the other build option just in case you wanted to go with that instead. Without wasting any more time, let's see how this build works. So starting off, what does the exotic headpiece Dawn Chorus actually do? The exotic perk is Rites of Ember. Your Daybreak projectiles cause targets to scorch on contact, your scorch effects deal more damage, and you gain a small amount of melee energy each time your scorch effects damage a target. Moving on to the Skyburner's Oath, what this gun allows you to do is when you hip fire the weapon, you scorch targets. Combining this with the exotic headpiece along your scorch stacks to hit for even more damage just creates a more fun and damaging build. For your artifact mods, you're going to want to be using the Flare Up artifact perk along with Rain of Firebolts and the Solar Surge artifact perk. Now all these allow you to just buff up your Firebolt Grenade along with the Solar Surge one, allowing you to collect fire sprites and giving you armor charges. So talking about the subclass itself, for my abilities, for the build I would prefer, I use Healing Rift with the Celestial Fire, Solar Melee, and the Firebolt Grenades. And also know that for your super, you are using Daybreak over Well of Radiance. The aspects you want to use are Icarus Dash, dodge quickly while airborne. This just allows for plenty of maneuverability, which can help you in scenarios where you might be about to die. And the other aspect I use is Touch of Flame, specifically for the upgraded mix to the Firebolt Grenade. Increases target search radius and maximum target count, just allowing you to get more scorch stacks and more enemies while throwing your grenade out. Now the fragments I use are Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets, just allowing you to cycle out those abilities much easier. I also use Ember of Char. Your Solar Ignition spreads Scorch to affected targets. Remember, this whole build is around Scorch and Ignition, so this one helps tremendously. The next fragment I use is Ember of Ashes. You apply more Scorch stacks to targets. This is just pretty straightforward. It allows you to get those ignitions faster. And then finally, Ember of Searing. Defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite, once again allowing you to scorch targets with your melee and such. So going on to the mods, on your helmet you want to use a Solar Siphon mod specifically for your Skyburner's Oath, so you're generating some orbs of power, along with Ashes to Assets for super energy on grenade kills. On my arms, I'm using a Bolstering Detonation mod, grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade, allowing you to cycle out your class ability. Firepower, your grenade final blows create orbs of power. Considering you're spamming out your grenade, this is a no-brainer, along with Grenade Kickstart to allow you to spam your grenades more often. On my chest piece, I'm using a Charged Up armor mod, increases the maximum number of stacks of armor charge you can carry, allowing you to store more armor charges for that Grenade Kickstart mod, along with the Reserve mod of my choice, just so I can use my heavy weapon and have a bit more ammo. For my legs, I'm using two Weapon Surge mods of my choice. Honestly, you can put on a Solar Surge mod if you want to only be using your Skyburner's Oath, but I'm just putting these on for my heavy weapon. Along with the Innervation armor mod, reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power, allowing you to spam out the grenades much quicker. And finally, on my Bond, I'm using two Bomber mods, reduce grenade cooldown when you use your class ability, and considering other mods allow you to get your class ability back much quicker, you'll be able to use your class ability and ultimately give yourself grenade energy. And then finally, my last mod is Distribution, reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. So ultimately, I think this build is actually really fun. I was playing it for about an hour, I would say, after making it, and I'm really glad my subscriber brought it up to me. And so now let me know down in the comments below what other builds you might want to see me post videos on, and if you think you're going to be using this build as well. Thanks, and have a good day.